Welcome to You, Me, Empathy, a safe place for leading with your heart. Hey, thanks for being here. You, Me, Empathy is the official podcast of the Feely Human Collective, a collaborative mental health community designed to empower each of us to grow our capacity for empathy, vulnerability, and emotional wayfinding. Just a friendly reminder that this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. No one is just a silly boy with a feely heart. You can support the show by leaving a review in Apple Podcasts, following us on social media at Yumi Empathy and Feely Human, and joining the Feely Human Collective community at feelyhuman.co. And now your host, Known Wells.
Hello, Feely Humans. Welcome to another episode of You, Me, Empathy. My name is Known Wells. I am the creator and host of this podcast, as well as the founder of the Feely Human Collective. This is episode 206 on a bunch of wild meat sacks with my friend Jordan Scovel. Jordan and I, in this episode, we explore being conditioned to compartmentalize, how being a parent makes us face our childhood trauma, bringing more connection and awareness to our bodies, and, like I said, why we're all just a bunch of beautiful, messy, mushy, wild meat sacks. You're going to have to listen to the episode to discern what that means, wild meat sacks, because I say it with all the love in the world. You should know that, and you'll hear that in the episode. Really loved this chat with Jordan. I feel like we are very similar, Jordan and I really connected with her. She's the best. Really loved this. I think you're going to love her too. Before we get to the episode, though, I wanted to remind you that in, I guess, the next week plus of December, the rest of the year, of the rest of 2021, the shop, the Feely Human shop, is buy one, get one free. And I know that it might not make it for Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas or whatever, but buy some stuff to maybe give to a friend or to wait for your partner's next birthday or what have you. But it's a way to support me and the work I do with Feely Human. I have a lot of exciting things to do and to work on that I am currently working on for Feely Human in the new year. Very excited. So your support through purchasing stuff in the Feely Human shop at feelyhuman.co/shop is very helpful. So I appreciate your support. And please rate, I don't know, that's not a word. Please rate and review this podcast in Apple Podcasts. That's another way to support me and the work I do. So please do that if you have not yet already. And the other thing I will say is I think it's December 28th. I'll be posting about it soon. December 28th, I'm doing a end of year reflection and looking forward to 2022 Patreon Zoom hang. So if you want to join me on Patreon. It's $5 a month. You get bonus episodes of the podcast plus occasional Zoom hangs like that one. Check that out at patreon.com/feelyhuman. And the last thing I'll say is, as we're nearing the new year, maybe resist a little bit. It's okay if you don't resist all of it, but maybe resist a little bit of the pressure to the pressure to make resolutions and to create goals and to make your lists. And some of that is great. I just think there's an overemphasis on that stuff. And that overemphasis is a result of capitalism and scarcity, and our output and our outcome is our value, and that ain't great. I don't like that. So I hope you can find some space for stillness and softness and reflection throughout these holidays and the rest of the year. I just so thank you for being here with Yumi Empathy for another year. It's wonderful. I just value you all. I love you all, and thank you. Thank you so much. Let's get into the episode, though. This is episode 206 with Jordan Scovel on the subject matter of a bunch of wild meat sacks. Enjoy. Welcome to You, Me, Empathy, the official podcast of the Feely Human Collective. On this show, we explore the struggles, the triumphs, the brights and the darks we face as humans trying to get by on this wondrous and overwhelming pale blue dot. The intent of You, Me, Empathy is to talk openly, without judgment, about our mental health, our neuroses, our shared anxieties and worries, to create a dialogue that is vulnerable and deeply human and empathetic, and to share that dialogue with others to inspire emotional and cognitive collaboration and insight so we can, hand in hand, break down the stigma that make us feel shame and guilt for struggling, for feeling our feelings, for being feely humans. You, Me, Empathy is a safe, friendly space designed to inspire the beauty in each of us. Today, I am pumped. And I can't figure out if it's because of my guest today or the fact that I've overdone it on coffee, but I think it's really the guest because my insides are dead. Anyway, I am pumped to be here with the fabulous TV, film, and stage actor, performer, and also friend to coffee everywhere. It's Jordan Scovel. Hello.
Hi. Hi, Noan.
Hi.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here. Let's kick it off with an emotional check-in, as we always do on this show. How are you feeling, my friend?
You know, I feel in this moment pretty good. It's been a kind of heavy, messy, dark, weird week or two.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I kind of like woke up and I was like, oh, hey, something feels like it might have shifted a little. Okay. So
that's nice.
Yeah.
Do you think that's contributing, or is that because of something you did, or is it just like our bodies are weird and today I feel a little different?
Our bodies are weird. I think it's kind of a culmination of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think my body feels different, or it woke up differently, and I think that I'm deep diving, so I'm doing the work.
Yeah.
What about you? How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing all right. Like, I think similarly, the last few weeks have been really hard. I have clinical depression. The listeners know this. And when my depression is bad, it's bad. It's like just ongoing suicide stuff and self-harm thoughts and that stuff. And I when it's really bad, Jordan, I like really feel it in my body. It's just like this like physical, like I'm just like lunging around, and it's fucking hard. Yeah.
It's hard.
And today I'm feeling a little lighter.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta honor that, right?
I mean, yes. I think that we have to, acknowledge and tap in and go, it's okay to not be okay right now. And I don't feel okay. And I'm feeling, I'm having thoughts that I don't trust.
Mm-hmm.
And how to go, okay. I think I read a Facebook post that you posted the other day, and you were just like, I showed up. It was when you guys were taking your pictures, and you were like, or the Instagram, and you were like, I'm still going to show up. Even you don't know that I'm feeling shitty based on this picture, but I'm feeling shitty, but here I am. I showed up. And now that I've shown up, I feel a little different and a little better, even if it's just like that, like inchworm step better.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's a little inchworm step. Sometimes it's a elephant steps. Yeah. I mean, and the other thing is like, I'm intentional sort of replacing my buts with ands as often as I can. Right. Because that creates space to honor all of it. And I think we have a tendency culturally, societally, capitalistically, etc., to just bypass all of the hard stuff for like good vibes, positive thinking.
Yes. Told you, there's the butt.
Little Charlie butt. We see the listeners don't see it, but we see a little doggy Charlie butt, and it's adorable.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I think that we are conditioned to compartmentalize things and to go. I mean, I know for me, the stuff I constantly work on in therapy is like, I want to be able to like put it all in a box and put a bow on it and go, oh, there, I did that thing. And,
Yes.
and nothing I would maybe wager my life on is able to be put into a box and tied with a bow and put away or given away, because it's like this constant evolution of self and interaction and collaboration. Yeah. And I
I
think
love
that,
that.
yeah.
That's very well said, and you're so right. Do you Can you share a little bit about like whether it was an experience or an incident or something that sort of inspired you to get into doing some of this work?
I mean, I feel like the right answer is motherhood, but I don't know that it's 100% that.
Yeah.
But I think that like the things that I'm learning about myself through being a parent and through, maybe you did a show about this also, like making friends as adults
Mm-hmm.
and like in your, and like your chosen family stuff. Like there's just, and like also recognizing family of origin stuff. Like it's just, eh, lots has happened in the last 6 years since I have become a mother. And, you know, I think that it's just hard. And it like, I really think that being a parent butts us up against our childhood trauma in a way that I don't think anybody's prepared for. Like
Mm.
it's not talked about. It's, you know, thinking of a specific moment when Elliot, my daughter, turned, like she was 4, her 4th year was really hard. Like everybody, that I think that we say a lot of things like terrible twos, the three-nager, those things. And I think that the more we say those things and our children hear those things, the more they embody those things.
Mm.
So I was very conscious of like trying not to do those things, because I was like, she's just we're figuring out her brain. Her brain is developing.
Yeah.
She's a child who has no idea what's what and how to be. And this is her first time in this body on this earth, you know? So it is my job to help guide her through this. But I will say that like 2 was a breeze, 3 was hard, and then 4 was a fucking slog. And I think that I realized that some of my trauma happened when I was 4. Like I kind of clicked into going, oh, like that's when we started moving a lot.
Wow.
And that's when, I mean, I my parents, I don't really remember the details of the story, but like I got left at a McDonald's while we were on like a road trip
Oh, goodness.
as like a 4-year-old.
Mm.
And, you know, my parents were all in the car, they were about to back up, and some woman like knocked on their door and was just like, is this yours? And like, I'm just like, oh my God, like that
Wow.
feels like I kind of have this memory of like looking out a window crying and like seeing my family. I couldn't tell you if that's the like thing that I have created in my head of, as to what that was. Like that's what the
Mm-hmm.
situation was. But I like it's I was like, oh, maybe this is the beginning of the shit that I had to deal with and how to protect myself or be okay. And I don't know.
That's
That
interesting. And how
yeah.
powerful it is that Elliot turns 4 and then it triggers that memory like that. Like I had never like Jessica and I, my partner, we don't have kids. Wanted to for a while, just never happened. And
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't thought about sort of the I mean, of course, it's a no-brainer, I guess, like in thinking about it, like having kids and how that reflects on your own childhood, like that makes so much sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that like intellectually, sure, you step away from it and you go, yeah, clearly we
Yeah.
could see the pinpoints and
Yeah.
like the connect those dots. But like when you're in, there's so much shit that's not talked about. I think becoming a parent, becoming an adult, like we are not adults when we graduate college. If, you know, that's how
No,
I feel. Like we are
I
in
was a little
some
baby
like
boy.
post adolescent, like weirdness.
Yeah.
And like, I don't feel like, for me personally, I still kind of am like, have I found myself? I don't know that I
Mm.
have. Like, I turned 40 this year and everybody was
Same.
like, yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Um,
You as well.
everyone's like, well, how are you feeling? You're 40. It's a big deal. This 40. And I'm just like, I don't think I'm there yet.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm pulling layers back and understanding stuff in massive ways that I was potentially scared to do before, or
Mm.
just truly didn't have the knowledge and vocabulary to do,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
support.
Yeah. That's a huge, safe, supportive people. Yeah. Big
Yeah.
part of me. Yeah. It's interesting because when you say that, and people have said that to me turning 40, I turned 40 in July, and it's another one of those sort of cultural expectations of like, oh, you've gotten there and this is the thing you should know, or this is the next expectation. But what you're doing and how you're framing it is how I frame it, which is no, it's like this ongoing messy affair that just we're swimming in it constantly. And there's no finish line and there's no checkbox, it's just ongoing.
100%. I think that, like, and why shouldn't it be? Why
Yeah.
wouldn't we want to be curious about all of it?
Yeah.
Like I know for me, when I'm low, I don't get, I like kind of shut down, and I don't get curious. I don't give a shit to be challenged.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to find, the little moments of joy is just sort of like, ah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they just sort of are these fleeting blips where I don't, it's almost like I don't care. And that is fine, and that is good, and that is part of the journey. Um, because I think we have to go deep and dark in order to come out on the other side. And I know it's a platitude and it's not super, it's sort of cliche, but I really think that like the only way through it is through. Like if you've
Mm-hmm.
got to get deep and dark and maybe shut down the curiosity, the intrigue, whatever, for that moment, figuring out how like you reignite that slowly. But I think that we should have that, like, I need that, like, why not?
100%. It's like you're doing a jigsaw puzzle and you're starting to put the pieces together. And maybe some of the pieces have like slid under this like closet and it's real dark in there. You're going to have to like go in there because you need to like, I mean, in this analogy, you complete it, but like this is a never ending jigsaw puzzle, right?
Right,
Like
right, right.
and the
Infinite
more
number of pieces.
infinite. Yeah. And the
Yeah.
more you piece things together, the more like, I mean, the reality is like deepening self awareness and deepening our connection to self is deepening and beautifying our connection to the world and each other, right? Like that's how it works. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so tell me a little bit about so you had this experience as a 4-year-old. Did you have sort of like reflections after that you remember on like, why did this happen? Or what was that all about? Or have you been doing that sort of work since and thinking about like what that meant for you?
I think it's just sort of doing the work and sort of pulling the pieces like in. I moved around a lot when I was little. And like, quite frankly, I'm the third of three girls, and my older sisters are significantly older than I am, like 8 and 13 years older than I am.
Oh, wow.
And so, I always am like, well, what was I like as a kid? And like becoming a mother, I was asking my mom all these questions of like, what was I like as a baby? And like, where are the pictures? Like, and it's almost like nobody really remembers. And like, there aren't a lot of pictures of when I was little. And I think that I mean, I don't know. And I think that life is a struggle all the time. But I think that like me growing up coexisted with like a lot of struggle in my parents' lives and like financial, probably emotional, marital. I don't know, I don't know. So it was like I'm reevaluating or not reevaluating, I'm examining all of that in the sense of going, oh yeah, I had to kind of fend for myself a lot. Like I was a kid of the 80s and I say I was a latchkey kid and some people are like, no, you weren't. I'm like, yeah, I was. Like I was home by myself a lot. Like I walked to school in my tiny town in New Canaan, Connecticut, and I walked to the library after school and then I came home by myself. Like I recently remembered a moment through therapy of like walking down. We lived on like Forest Drive, and this was like the second house we lived in New Canaan. And I remember I was like on a first name basis with like the mechanics who worked on that street and the people who owned the shops. And like I was this 10-year-old.
Wow.
And I'm just like, yeah, I was. And in that sense of going, I was alone and I had to take care of myself. I think I've built up my defenses. And in moving around a bunch, my like MO is going, well, I'm adaptable. I'll make anywhere work because that's how it works.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. Like I was born in Memphis. We went to Texas. We went to Phoenix. We went to Connecticut, where we stayed for, I think, 8 years. And then we were in New Hampshire, back to Connecticut, to New Jersey, to Las Vegas, where I did high school. And the whole time I was like, yeah, I got this. Like, I'm going to make this work because I kind of have to. And I'm going to squeeze myself into the space that somebody else is giving me.
Yeah.
And I think that, in my self-exploration journey, it's kind of it's like a reckoning with my younger self of going like, that served me so well up until a point. But I am now a 40-year-old woman who, has a wonderful marriage, has a kid, has friends. I can do this differently, and I'm choosing to do this differently. And that, like, I guess, integration, of the former coping mechanisms to like the expansion and growth that I'm trying is like, it's just that it doesn't feel good.
It's hard.
It's hard work. It's hard work.
Yeah, though I just want to give you so much love because like that is I had a lot of that as well, that latchkey stuff. And my sort of that sort of survival sort of mode is I mean, for me it was a lot of escaping from, scary dads and whatnot, but like you feel alone and you start to feel like I'm on my own and I need to protect my own, and not sure if anyone's going to be here to like help me in that effort. And that's a hard thing to carry as a 10-year-old kiddo. Like that's hard.
Yeah.
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 Do you, I lost my train of thought.
I'll come back.
Damn it. You're the worst known.
No, you're not.
I just relate to that deeply. Oh, I know what I was going to get to. So the that coping mechanism,
Hmm.
you sort of putting up that armor and telling yourself, oh, I'm adaptable. Like, how did that manifest? Because I can see that manifesting in areas like it's going to be hard for me to be friends with people. Like I'm putting up, people need to really work at it or things like that.
I mean, I think that that's the biggest thing I can like pinpoint is
Mm.
I'm a fast friend. I'm a fast and deep friend.
Mm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
I we could meet at a party and like have a conversation and like I jump right over the small talk and I'm like, well, let's like how is your heart? And like I get into that stuff and like
I'm the same way.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, it feels good sometimes and like
It's the best. Well, and it makes so much sense, right? Like I'm like thinking about this more clearly now. Like you're like, okay, I've got a year here. Let's
yeah,
make this work for me. Let's start some friendships. Let's like I don't want to be alone.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think that while that served me well in my like school age years and into high school,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's hard as it's also like hard as an adult, because we've, and I think it also is hard to see through that like other people also have their own shit that they're dealing with,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
because and it also like I think puts undue expectation on other people if for a while if I was like, oh my God, we're now best friends and my entire life, they're like, whoa, Jordan, you've been at school for a month. I
Yeah.
think it's not like knowing your place, but it's like I think it was this need for me to get validation and feel my worth through somebody else. And
Mm.
so me now as an adult going, oh, hey, I, I am worth it by myself. I don't need you to look at me and tell me how great I am. I need to know that like I'm I'm like my magic's already in me and it can go out, I can share it. And like, but I got to know that it's like I'm good and I can take care of myself.
Yeah.
And I'm totally confident in that. And and I like now that I feel like I'm like opening up my heart a little more and like rolling my shoulders back and standing up straight, I'm just like, okay, now how does this fit in the world?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's beautiful. I relate. I empathize. So how has it shown up as an adult? Like, have you tried to do that same type of thing where you've like, because I've been there myself. And I think the word that comes to mind is like maybe boundaries or, um, reminding myself, and you said it, like reminding myself that people are going through shit. They have their own shit too. They may not be able to take on the stuff. They may not be receptive. They may be uncomfortable with my vulnerability, right?
Mm-hmm,
And being
mm-hmm.
aware of all of that stuff has been important for me as a sensitive person who likes to do the same things that you do. But stepping back, thinking about boundaries. Is that the type of thinking you're sort of in?
Yeah. And like I don't think I am good or have been good at boundaries. I think
Mm.
I'm very like boundary less.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also like not fair for other people or myself.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that like that's the thing that keeps coming up now in like my more clear-headed state is like, oh, okay, I not that I need to follow your lead, but I need to recognize that you're giving me a boundary. And I need to also recognize that I need to hold my own
Mm-hmm.
because that's truly the only way we can exist in a collaborative space together
Yes.
is through the respect of your boundaries. And, I think that I mean, it like if I'm to liken it to like falling instantly madly in love with someone, right? And you're just like, oh my God, everything is the best. And it's this honeymoon phase and we're going to share everything and we're going to tumble and we're going to, do it all. And then you get to that moment where you're like, oh, wait, you do have stuff in the closet that you don't want to, but I thought we were in this. Well, we're not on the same page. It's like, while that's fun and that feels good. And like, yes, you do have instant connection with some people and some people you have to actually work with. I think that there is like, I think there's a need to recognize that relationships and boundaries are ever shifting.
Yes.
And changing.
Yep.
And, I keep like seeing things about like conscious relationship. And I'm like, oh yeah, I need to choose to be in conscious relationship with people. And I need to recognize that I have a part in this and I have to show up and I have to do the work on my side. And I think I also like conscious relationship with myself. Right.
Yep.
And I also need to respect, known you and I, if you don't want to step that next step, then I need to go, okay, well then I love this as it is. And let's just keep doing this until we're ready to do the next thing. And that I think I have like a little lack of patience where I'm like, no, let's get there.
I mean, you're preaching to the choir, Jordan, because I would do Thelma and Louise off a cliff with you, just if you said it right now.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to die. Let's do it.
No, I love that. That's so well said. You mentioned like the boundaries piece, and that is something that I've been working on myself for the past couple of years as a very sensitive person. I think you mentioned at one point to me via email that like you just feel overwhelmed by stuff, and you're someone who is passionate. You're someone who is an advocate. You sort of lead with your heart in beautiful ways. Where do the boundaries come in for you? How have you been able to temper that and not feel burnt out every day?
I don't know. Like it's constantly, I mean, sometimes I sit here and I go, do I know the definition of a boundary? Like I feel like I butt up against that. And I think that I've watched myself, if someone tries to give me a boundary, it suddenly feels like they're saying, I don't like you.
Yes, I feel that.
And that's a hard hump to get over, to recognize that that's just that person going, no, I want some space and I want to process my own stuff, how I process my own stuff. And like that's a hard edge to hit up for me. I think because thinking about the need to fit in all the time and the need to have the other people be, me being the people pleaser that I have been like my whole life, like trying to make sure that your needs are met. And if you're telling me to stop, that means I did something wrong. And that's hard to, I struggle with that now. I struggle with that like on a daily basis of going, oh, no, you know what? This is not you telling me you don't love me or you don't like me or you're not interested in my being in your space. This is you just being like, hey, I need a minute. And it's recognizing that somebody else might feel a little uncomfortable and they're working through what their thing is,
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm very much the person who I want to, if something uncomfortable happens in a conversation or whatever, I want to come in and I want to tend to, like, I'm a very, like, my caretaking side is on high alert all the time, which has its benefits, but also it makes me sort of, like I was saying earlier, like take up less space so that I can give you all the space. And, in the last, I think, couple months, I was having a conversation and I brought up a, maybe not pleasant thing. And the person I was talking to, took it with stride initially and then got defensive and then got upset. And I watched myself go. My initial instinct is to come to you and go, how can I help you in this moment? How can I make you feel better in this moment? And I actively was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue on what I was doing, because you know what? I'm going to let you sit in those uncomfortable feelings, because I've spoken up for something that I want that might make you uncomfortable, but I'm going to let you do that. And I'm going to walk away and we can come back to it later. And like, that was really fucking hard to do.
Yeah, I bet.
But I'm like, yeah, high five, Jordan. Look what you just did. Like,
you
that
deserve
is
a high five. That's wonderful.
Yeah, like that. And it's like, that is interdependence, not codependence, right? I think, I don't know. I get so confused.
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with that interdependence word, but you've had 40 years of doing the thing of giving, to your detriment, fully giving yourself to others, right? And having a moment where you say no is very powerful. It's beautiful. Yeah. We have to say no. And it's not just saying no. It's like, for me, it's like early on in doing the podcast and starting Feel Human, because I'm the same way, Jordan. The role I took growing up in my family, I was the quiet one, but I was also like quiet and hiding a lot. But I was also like, I mediated my parents' marriage. I was sort of like the caretaker in that way, right? Like, that's the role I took on, because that's what helpers do, right? And I've learned that road is just self-destruction ultimately. Like, it's a total denial of self. It's like just self-immolation. Just might as well light me on fire. And that's dramatic, but the reality is, like, ultimately I have to come and you have to come to a place of, it's not about us, right? Like, we all, you said it yourself, we all have to figure out what fills us up and what depletes us. And sometimes that's having hard conversations. And sometimes that is just that moment, right? And being receptive to all that stuff, like, takes work and takes energy. And sometimes we can't do it and sometimes we can. And it's just ultimately the more the deeper we sort of connect with ourselves, the better we're going to get at this stuff, right?
100%.
Because then we know, like, okay, I'm not really good in these types of situations, so I'm going to put on some healthy armor.
Totally,
right?
totally. Yes. That's reminding me of, like, my therapist and I have talked about, like, when I get anxious, I sort of like spin out, and I spin pretty fast. And like the fucking stories I tell myself and the narration that goes on in my brain is like quick fire. And I'm just like, okay. And, Kara is like, that's also like, okay, that's who you are in some moments. And in some moments you spin real fast out, but like, the important thing is to be able to recognize that is what's happening and sort of figure out how to bring yourself back to it. Like, I think that there's, I don't know, like, there's potentially these like loops we get in of like, we sort of repeat the same patterns and the same things over and over again in relationship, in how we feel about ourselves, the food we eat, like all of it. And I think that when we're going through change and transformation, I think that we want something different in that loop. And we get really angry at ourselves if we're back in the loop. And I think that I'm trying, instead of getting angry at myself because I'm back in that loop, going, oh, okay, what was the thing that pulled me back? Okay, I see that. I see that you talked to me this way, so I did this, and here we are in this similar cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I see that thing, maybe the next time this comes about, I can make a different choice.
Yep.
I can make a different choice to potentially shift how this feels and how this plays out.
I love that.
And yeah, I think that like it's that's like life, right? It's that birth, that cycle. It's all, birth, growth, death, rebirth. And I think we're constantly doing that with ourselves.
I like that. Can you share an example of one of these anxious cycles you get into?
I knew you were going to ask the tough questions. And
that's what I'm here for. This is hardcore journalism.
The specificity of it. What's an example? I was like, oh, okay. So I have a tendency to take on other people's anxieties. So there's been some school stuff with, Elliot is in first grade, and we have there were 3 kindergarten classes that merged into 2 first grade classes with 2 new teachers. And it's a Waldorf public education school. So the teacher tracks with the kids until, I think at this school, they're going to go until like 4th grade, and then they get a new 5th through 8th teacher. But when we all got our teachers, my Elliot's class, I was excited that, she's with some friends from last year, and we were excited about it. We were really excited about our teacher, and we were like, oh, it's going to be great. This is going to be awesome. And things started in the beginning of the year, and like, it wasn't awesome. And the way that other parents and I were talking, like I would hear other parents be like, well, I don't like the way that the teacher talked to the kids, or I don't, what's happened? Like, why are they being disciplined? And so I had some big conversations with people, and, like, I was like, oh my God, am I not thinking about this correctly? I'm not paying attention to the things I'm supposed to be paying attention to, because clearly you're an expert in this moment, other adult who's watching their children behave and interact, and you're seeing things that are bad. Oh my God, I'm supposed to be seeing things that are bad. Oh my gosh, is this teacher bad? Oh my God, what are we doing? How does this work? And finally I was like, hold on. Like, I need to be aware of this stuff because it's important and it's my child's development. But I need to also check in with my child and know what's going on with her while she's at school, rather than take on the other parent's feelings about a situation, because that is them and their stuff with their child and their interaction with this other adult, not mine. I think that's kind of a spin out.
I love that. That's a wonderful example of that kind of thing that I find myself in too. Like, I've been married. How long have I been married? Almost 12 years, I guess. Together for about 15.
Yeah. Nice.
And I, being the sensitive person I am, like I do have a tendency to sort of like rob myself of my own opinion or opportunity to foster my own opinion and my own truth on a thing. So like, you're doing the same thing in that scenario. You're like robbing yourself of any chance of like, you're like, nope, my take, my curiosity, my assessment is invalid. I'm going to take on all of that. I've done that with Jessica. I'm like, oh, this is my take now. And I think it's obviously, as you know, so healthy, even within like a marriage or a relationship, to have different takes, to have different opinions and different ideas.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
Yeah. I mean, I relate to that so much. Like, I see myself doing that with Rory a lot, and it's just like, oh yeah, no, you have your feelings and your feelings are valid. And I also have my feelings about this, and mine are
Yes.
also valid. And, I think it's thinking about that like honeymoon tumbling together moment. Like, you want that in your relationship all the time. And
Mm,
not that it goes away, but it changes. And you have to allow for it to change rather than like grasp so hard on what you think feels beautiful
yeah.
initially, right?
Yeah, because I think that there's no space for even your own personal growth within a lot of that, right? You're like holding on to this, the way you attach to each other in a space of new love and excitement, and maybe there's lust and all this stuff in there, and that's powerful. But the reality is, like, a sustaining relationship takes deep curiosity and deep change and deep uncomfortability, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I find myself um I have a tendency to want to fill silence.
Mm,
Like
hmm.
I think that's potentially also like my spin out anxiety moments
Yeah.
is like, if Rory and I get into a tussle and there's something, and then so we're both like, ah, and you get quiet, and then all of a sudden I'm like, well, blah, 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 and I just like throw words out,
Yeah.
and I'm not thinking, and I'm just talking, and then I also go, what I'm just sharing what I'm feeling, and like it's yes, and it's like just shut the fuck up and sit in the silence and the discomfort,
Yeah.
Jordan, because the things you will learn might actually like blow your mind and really benefit the relationship.
Hmm. That's definitely an anxious brain thing, the silence, because I think Jessica struggles with that too. She's more of an anxious person than I am. And yeah, you start to think, and I've done it myself, you start to think, well, oh, well, they're framing this wrong.
Mm-hmm,
They're
mm-hmm,
seeing this. They're already building up ammunition in their head. I need to fight back, right?
mm-hmm,
It's like the
mm-hmm.
silly things we do, our brains do. What has been super helpful for me in instances like that is reminding myself and to Jessica aloud, just say, "Hey, buddy, we're on the same team." Like
Yeah,
I'm never like I don't ever intend to hurt you. I love you deeply. We're on the same team. Let's start at
yeah,
that baseline,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And like a really important reminder of the foundation of your relationship.
Yes. Yes. Cuz we all do stupid shit. We all say stupid shit. We all make mistakes. We're fallible, messy human beings. And reminding ourselves of that foundation is a reminder that love is there. It's just honoring the fact that we fuck up sometimes,
Mm-hmm,
because that is the human condition. That's what we do.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. We
Yeah.
grip so hard into wanting to be right and like, well,
The right. Oh, yeah. I mean, the political right, but also the right. Yes. The right.
yes,
Yeah. The need to be right. Yeah. The need, letting go of that. Just completely letting go of attachments, not of
yeah,
attachments, of outcomes, really,
yeah,
is kind
yeah.
of enlightenment to me.
You're releasing your expectations of how something is going to
For
happen.
sure. For sure. Yeah.
Like, because as much as I believe in mysticism, I do not have a crystal ball and cannot see the future.
It's such a, like, intellectually, very easy to understand. Like, very, like, oh, yeah, makes sense. We don't know the future. And yet we hold so much anxiety about what will happen, what they'll think, etc. Right?
And I think that that's all really young.
Hmm.
Like, I think that's really young stuff where I know your listeners can't see me. I'm touching my chest. This is what I do when I'm like reminding myself that I'm okay. I
I
like put
like
my
that.
hands on my chest and I'm just
Feels
like,
good.
I'm here for me. Um, but I think it's like really young stuff where we like weren't seen in a moment. We weren't our opinion, our voice wasn't heard, and somebody was louder than we were, and that we were scared, and I think that's why we like have that. Yes, I can sit here intellectually and tell you I understand it, but it doesn't feel right, you know?
Yeah. We all need to be seen and really ultimately know how that feels intellectually and in our body.
Yeah. Yeah.
The body piece is something that I've been struggling with. Like I've been going to EMDR therapy, and I could talk about feelings till I'm blue in the face.
Yeah.
But those are just words. Like ultimately,
Excuse
I'm
me.
having trouble connecting to the how it feels in my tum tum, or the noggin, etc. Not the noggin. Everywhere else but the noggin, really.
Well, I just started seeing a chiropractor who works
Oh,
more muscularly than like bone cracky, twisty, breaky. Well, they don't break your bones, but
it's happened.
and
It's like my ultimate nightmare. A guy like is doing the neck thing and then done.
yeah, it's
Donezo.
done. It's
Yeah.
done.
Ugh.
So, yes, that's terrifying. But this doctor, Dr. Nunez, talks about, he's like, it all starts here. He's
Mm,
like, your body hurts because it all starts here. And there's deep, we if there's trauma, attachment, wounding, things like that, that gets stuck here. So there our body is coping in different ways.
yeah.
And like figuring out how to, I want to say a light, but that's kind of whatever. You like alight that feeling in us and like
Mm-hmm.
recognize it and move through it. Like I have a herniated L5S1 that I think I got from pregnancy, not 100% sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've I have low back pain and like,
Same.
yeah. Do you have the same
Also
herniation?
L5. So I just saw my chiropractor yesterday. I'll let you finish, but like just
Okay.
empathizing, like
Yeah.
low back pain. I have uh, just degeneration in the sort of the disc, and it's displaced by like 5 centimeters. At least that's what the X-ray said like 10 years ago.
Yeah, me too. I think I might be 10 centimeters, or I was like back in 2019.
Yikes.
Um, but I think that like I am sure you've heard that we hold like emotional trauma in our hips,
Mm-hmm.
old trauma in our hips, and
Mm.
like stressors and anxiety, and new stuff is kind of in your shoulders.
Interesting. I haven't heard that.
I
I
don't
have
know.
hip pain. I have like regular hip pain. So you're bringing up a lot for me.
Good.
Good. Yeah, no,
Uh,
it's always good, but that's interesting. I haven't heard that exactly, that we hold the older trauma in our hips, newer trauma in our shoulders. That's fascinating. Where'd you hear
yeah,
that? From your
I
chiropractor?
No, I've heard, I honestly don't remember where I heard it. I
Okay.
feel like I heard it a really long time ago and I'm like, I'm going to hold on to that because I think that it's true and I'm going to believe it.
I love it. Well, it's very true that we hold trauma in our bodies. Like if you've ever
Yes,
read The Body Keeps the Score,
I have
which is
not.
brilliant. And then I just started reading Dr. Hilary McBride's The Wisdom of Your Body, which she's brilliant. So I'm excited to get into that. But yeah, all of that stuff, like we hold it deep in our bodies. So all the somatic sort of body based therapies are very, very important for especially trauma.
I mean, it is so essential, I think. Like I've always, I don't think I knew that until
Mm,
recently. And I've always been a very active person. And my sister introduced me to yoga when I was like 18 or younger. I can't really remember. And I was just like, I love this. And I was a yogi for a really long time. And I was like,
mm,
is this my path? Is this the thing I should be doing? No, I don't think so. And like, I just think that I know about myself that I feel better and more mental clarity when like my body is healthy. I have a Bodhi tree on my back with a Vedic medical expression that it's no branches, no leaves, in the absence of the roots.
I love that.
It's written in Sanskrit. I couldn't tell you what the Sanskrit words are. I wish I could. But for me, like that, for a while, I was like, oh, what? I want a tattoo. I'm 18. I'm going to get a tattoo. And then I was like, no, I'm an actor. I should not get a tattoo. And thank God I didn't get what I wanted, because I wanted a Maitreya Buddha, which is like the happy Buddha with his hands over his head, as a tramp stamp.
Nothing. I mean, couldn't it be more juxtaposed things? The tramp stamp and Buddha.
I know. But I finally, like, I don't know, one moment when I was living in Hoboken, when Rory and I moved to New York in our 20s, I was like, a tree. And what better tree than the tree Buddha was enlightened under, than a Bodhi tree? And I was like, oh yeah, and you have to be rooted and grounded in yourself and strong in your body and constantly reaching in order to achieve anything. And like, I slapped that on my body when I was like 25, and I like forgot about it. And then I was like, oh yeah, like it is constant evolution. Yes. Like we have to constantly be this tree that mulches itself and grows and like spreads its, what is it? The mitochondria? Is that like the stuff that's under the ground? The fungus?
Yeah, and it like shares it with other trees.
Yes, yes.
Fascinating.
It's fucking fascinating.
Yeah. I love that.
And like, yeah, and like that's what we have. Like, we have to constantly remember these moments of going, I am a work in progress. I am still growing. I still need to be nurtured. I need to take care of myself. I need to remember my body, because my body is this physical thing that I've chosen this lifetime. And here I am. So what are we doing? And known, I think that our generation, I think we're kind of here to help heal our ancestral trauma. Like, I think that we're here to work through some heavy shit. And, my therapist constantly is like, they say when you heal things, you heal some indigenous cultures believe that when you heal things 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. And not to, and I don't say that to like go, well, the weight of the world is on your shoulders, because that's not what it is.
Yeah.
I just think it's this, I really believe that like, I've got shit that I've got to work through, like in my body, that is so deep that it truly does not belong to me. But I'm the first one that's seeing this in an awareness and going, okay, I'm going to breathe into that. I'm going to try to work through it.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to release that tension.
And you owe it to yourself, because you're worthy of it and others are as well, right? The future and the past.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely. Feels good.
I love that you're on like a body journey of going.
Yeah, thank you. It's weird, and I'm such a just openly vulnerable person. And so I'm like, right away, I'm like, look, I want this to work, and I have anxiety about it working, and I feel like I'm going to get in my own way, and and I'm here for anything, and I'm here for the process, and she's great. She's been great. I think it's going to take some time because of it. This is interesting because of the fact that I have been very open about talking about my like more severe traumas that I've had and experienced. And I've written about them, and they're in the public face. And so there's like there's a story about it, right? The people are connected to it. I have like a memory of people talking about it, or me talking to someone on the podcast about it. So there's all this like stuff that's connected to it that's sort of part of that memory now. And so what has been and what will be hard is like detaching those things from all of that and getting to and how it connects to the deeper stuff. So I like unearthed this silly memory the other day where Jessica and I were actually listening to Pen Pal's Patreon, and they were talking about the Secrets podcast. And Jessica was like, do you have any secrets? And I'm like, I don't think I do, because I've talked about them all. But then like 30 seconds later, I was like, I remembered this thing that I'll just share. And it's silly, but like when I was like 9 or 10, I went into my mother's bedroom and grabbed her underwear and like played around, even put it on, and like got aroused by it. That's weird to say, but like I brought this up to my EMDR therapist. She's like, next time we're going to start there, because that's a newer memory and it's not connected to all this public facing stuff, this story that you've already built. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what I instantly feel is like you're in good hands. Like that's
I think so too. Yeah.
That feels like she is very like attuned to what the potential pathway to help and to heal.
Yeah, totally. I agree.
And I'm also feeling excitement for that, because like, you know, for you in that like moment, that's like, oh God, this is kind of exciting that this is a new memory that hasn't popped up. And what is like, let's get curious about that.
Yeah. No, I'm excited about it too. I appreciate that. You're very sweet. I was wondering for you, like, are you still doing yoga? What are the other things that you do like body wise that help you?
Well, I wish I was doing yoga. I'm such like, I like being in a class. I don't like Zoom exercise classes. And like the pandemic was very hard for my body because I like sweating with other people. Like there's something about that like community energy, and I see you struggling and I'm like, no, you got it. You're like, thanks, man. And like we move together in that moment, you know?
Yeah.
And I have, you know, since I exercised my whole pregnancy until I delivered via emergency C-section at 37 weeks, because I had severe preeclampsia. And so coming out of a C-section was hard. I kind of got back into yoga a little. And then I found out I had fibroids, and I had like 3 giant fibroids that were like weighed 8 pounds. And they also had to be like surgically removed, essentially another C-section.
Oh my God.
And
trauma on trauma.
Exactly. And in conjunction with that surgery, that's when I found out I had all my back problems, because I woke up like a day before the surgery with the most intense like sciatic pain I've ever experienced in my life. And that journey, coming out of it, like we thought maybe removing the fibroids would fix the nerve pain, and like it did not. And so my coming back into my body has been very slow and very scary for me. Because like with the fibroids, I didn't know I had them, and I worked real hard, and I was very strong post pregnancy. Like once I got back into exercise, and I was like, I got this. And then it was like, something's not right. And then that sort of like completely pulled the rug out from underneath me. And I've been sort of struggling to get back into my body. And I think when did I start? I just started with like a new trainer in the last like couple months. And it's this woman, Shauna, who also had a C-section, and she broke her back. So she's had back surgery. So she like understands like the body.
Yeah.
from a place that felt very familiar to me.
That's
And
important. Yeah.
it's so, so important. And like what I'm like, I feel better because I've been, I'm working out like 2 times a week, but like, we're doing all like body weight resistant stuff. Like it's not there's no weights. It's just sort of like moving my body in a way that is truly integrating like my abdominals in a way that I don't think I've maybe ever used them, because I think thinking about the trauma and holding historical pain in our and emotional trauma in our hip area and our low back, I think that I've always been protective of that because that's where the like scary stuff was.
Yeah.
So my body compensated in different ways. Like pre my fibroid surgery, I was really fucking strong, but like I was using my hamstrings and my legs in a way to protect my abdomen, which also like pulled my back in a way that shouldn't have been out of alignment, right?
Yeah,
like if my leg is pulling one way, it's pulling my back and so now I'm getting more. Shauna has been able to help me actually feel my body in a very different way. And like some of the exercises we do, like I'll move my hips or like I feel my obliques in a different way. And I truly feel my transverse abdominals. And I'm just like, oh my God, I've never fired on like that before. Like,
I love that.
And like, I've never breathing into my right hip is like not a thing I do because that's where all my tension is. And like, I'm in the movement, I'm finding myself capable of like just getting circulation in that space. And like the same thing is also happening with my chiropractor. Like he'll move through a muscle and break the fascia up. And then suddenly I'm like, whoa, what is this tingling? He's like, it's called circulation. I'm just like, oh, like I had no idea like that muscle was being deprived of circulation.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I mean, it's just all fucking connected.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm very excited for your body journey because I truly think that like that is like the roots of all of it.
Yeah. And I'm excited for your body journey. It's a starting to trust and love our bodies again, right? Because it's weird how we can have our bodies and yet have just disparaging relationships with it, whether it's untrusting or whether it's hate or whether it's denial or all these things that we have attached to our bodies. And you being a woman, has an extra layer of complexity, right? And nuance and difficulty. So I'm grateful to hear that you're finding some trust. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of wild.
It is wild.
Yeah.
Wild meat sacks just fluttering around this pale blue dot. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Wild meat sacks.
Wild meat sacks.
The
title of this podcast.
That are also constantly decomposing because we're organic matter.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, oh. It is.
I love it. How important is silliness to you? I ask this because it's very important to me. And one of the things that I'll just gush about Rory real quick that I love about Rory, I don't know him. I know him as a comedian, podcaster, is his deep silliness, right? He's got a deep, silly core. He's also just such a sweetie, right? As you know. But what is your relationship to silliness?
Interestingly, I know I came from in therapy the other day. I think I forgot how important it was. And because I think that I've been becoming a mother, I've been so protective of my child not having the experience that I had and wanting to be all of these things that my mother was not to me. So I'm so calculated or pushy in places, and I'm holding things, and I have these expectations, and people aren't meeting them, and I'm getting angry, and I'm getting like, and then I think that was the darkness, right? That was my, I'm balling up in my fear, I guess.
Yeah.
And like there's just like in the last week, like there's been these little moments where like I made a joke that was like so dumb and silly, like to Rory, and he like laughed and he goes, "You're funny." And I go, "Oh wait, you think I'm funny?" And he was like, "Fuck, I shouldn't have shared that card." And I was like, "No, like this is, these are little moments where I'm like, oh yeah, I am." I mean, it's hard to be in a house with a comedian because they are always funny.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever serious. And oh man, that can be exhausting sometimes. And it's hard to also find my footing because my humor is not Rory's humor.
Yep.
And I think going back to what you were talking about with Jessica, sometimes you're like, oh, I'm taking on your stuff.
Yes.
And so I think I've had moments where I think Rory and I are similar in moments in our humor and what we think is funny and how we think things are funny. But I think for a long time I was like, oh, well, he's the one who knows how to do this, and he knows where the jokes are, and so that's the path we're going. And then I'm truly in the last like week, I'm like, oh no, I am funny, and I do silly, dumb stuff, and like I sing silly songs with Elliot, and like we make silly voices, yeah, and like watching her do these things and sing these songs, it's like, oh yeah, okay, it is really important. And I make jokes. I'm very sarcastic. I'm very dry. Like you might not know it's a joke, and someone kind of goes, "Wait, hold on. You're just fucking with me, right?" And I'm like, "Yes, of course I am." Levity.
Oh my God, we need it.
We need it.
This makes me so happy to hear. I love that you're finding your silly again, because it's for me, it's like, it's humbling. It like takes us out of like you said it yourself, like you're so hyper aware of not wanting to make the same mistakes that your mother did, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a beautiful thing. And I'll just say to you, your awareness of it is a huge part of it. Huge part of it. Like, give yourself some slack, give yourself some space and joy, because that space is just hunkering down, and then we just get too
tense,
flex, too just like strained to try to like, oh, I'm taking on the world, I'm this ball of whatever. But it's levity. It's breathing. It's doing something a little different from time to time. It's getting out of our ruts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, breathing, who knew I wasn't doing it for so long, right? Like,
it's the thing we take for granted, right? Which is so interesting.
Yeah.
And then once we start paying attention, we're like, oh, I'm like feeling this enter my body. My chest is rising. My stomach is, expanding. It's wild. Yeah.
Wild meat sacks.
What? Just a couple of wild meat sacks just having a gab. Well, I love talking to you, Jordan. You're a delight. I'm very grateful that you were here doing this.
Me too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's as we transition out of this, let's talk about empathy heroes. So we always sort of finish the show talking about folks in our lives who are empathetic, compassionate, feely, etc. I'll go first to give you a moment to think about yours. My empathy heroes this week are all the feely humans out there who are honoring their set boundaries this holiday season. So we're recording this prior to Thanksgiving and Christmas. If you celebrate, the Jewish holidays, honor your boundaries. Remember that you get to choose those boundaries. You get to choose what family means to you, all of that. It's very important. So, You keep doing that, Feely Humans. I'm proud of you. I believe in you. You can do it. I love you. You're my empathy heroes. All right. How about you?
My turn.
Your turn.
Known, I gotta say, we'll take a moment and say you showing up as you fully and as feely and messy as it is a light to be witnessed.
Aw, thank you.
And
You're sweet.
it's awesome. Really, really awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this question. I'm like, God, I know he's going to ask me who are my empathy heroes. I think that my girlfriend Britt is she's just really true to herself, and she's really good at having the difficult conversations and honoring your difficult conversations that you need to have. And I'm constantly learning. And I think she's helping me go, oh yeah, maybe I do just need to be quiet. Because I've got to let you feel your things instead of project everything that I'm feeling. Because she's not my best mirror, but she's a really good mirror to go, oh yeah, okay, let's be slower and let's get more curious and let's investigate together if we can. Yeah.
Hey, Britt.
Hey, Britt.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan, where can folks connect with you out there? Feely Humans, if they want to learn more about the work you're doing, the acting. I know you were on the first season of Physical with your,
and I get to be in an episode.
Yes.
This season. Yes.
Amazing. Where else can people connect with you?
I feel like the best place would be Instagram. I think I'm Jordan B. Scovel on Instagram, though I'm sort of having some moments with social media. So
that's fair.
I'm not super on anywhere a lot. I also have a Facebook page. I don't even know if it's public. It might be private. My Instagram might be private, but I am there, and I have a website, which I don't update that much, but it's jordanscovel.com. Yeah.
Well, those links will be in the show notes, listeners, and go watch Physical. It's on Apple TV Plus. Also, Robbie is free on YouTube. Robbie's great. Jordan's
or
hilarious.
Paramount Plus.
Or Paramount Plus. Thank you.
Yeah, Robbie's also on Paramount.
It's hilarious. Jordan plays Karen, a very funny character that rubs Robbie the wrong way. It's delightful to watch. Well, you're a gem. Thank you for doing this, Jordan. And to you, listeners, as I always say, I'm here, you're here, we're here as wild meat sacks together on this wayward, overwhelming, awe-inspiring pale blue dot. We have each other. It's you, me, empathy.
Yay.